This is 307 Old Dam Road. Driving into the neighborhood, seems quiet and peaceful. There are chickens in this neighborhood, you can hear them. But overall, neighborhood looks nice and quiet. You do have some damage up in there. Looks like paint's chipping. Nice little sitting porch. This is what you'd look at if you were sitting here enjoying a coffee. This right here is telltale signs that they did allow the vines to go crazy on the house. Once again, it's just dirty. Oh yeah, look, they had the vines all the way up to the top. They cleaned the vines, but they didn't clean the house. There is a fuel tank. We would need to see if that's leased or owned. The fence has seen better days. You don't have to replace it right away, but it's something you would want to account for in your budget. I have noticed there are several dead roaches everywhere. When you walk into the home, it has a slight smell. It smells like a dirty home. And here, I don't know if it's going to show up in the videos, but you can see just dirty walls. They had a whole bunch of stuff hanging. Every room needs to be painted. Air conditioner vent. Looks like they didn't change out the filters that often. Typically 1 or 2 roaches. That's common in North Carolina for the big ones. But when you see that many, it's a good chance there may have been an infestation. Once again, all the walls they've all been patched, but they need to be painted. The floor seems to be in okay shape right here, but you do have some damaged tile in the little dining room area. The kitchen has been painted. Doesn't look too terribly bad, but there are some cosmetic issues. I don't know. And you got the linoleum countertops. Once again, you can't put anything hot on top of those. And you have a butcher board over here. The sink shows signs of stains, hard water. Come back around this area, there is a chalkboard on the wall. You have a little utility closet. Little half bath downstairs. Dirty out there. Your washroom. You gotta walk across cut the light on. I think they had a litter box in here. Sorry for walking in circles. I was looking for any stains on the wall. I would assume it was up in here, but this laundry room smells like cat. The garage is a nice sized garage. However, it smells very wet. And I'm gonna go walk over where I think it's coming from. I don't smell anything from the fridge. But if you look over here, this whole corner is wet. And this just makes a circle coming around back to the front door. We'll go upstairs and then we'll go outside. The carpet, it's okay, but I would suggest budgeting to replace it. You have one bedroom. It's nice and bright in here. The carpet makes weird noises, like they did try to clean it, but typically when you have someone who just allows the rooms to get dirty, you end up with that dirt edge across the floor. So that kind of tends to lead signs to wasn't really taken care of. You have a condensation problem. You have a whole lot of water marks around the air conditioner vent. I've noticed all the windows are foggy. It would lead me to believe that maybe some of those sills might be broken, or they're just really dirty. Another half bath. This may be the cleanest one in the room. Anybody that uses the blue stuff, that can mess up the internal parts. So I'd be careful about that as well. You do come into a nice little bonus room. It's rather large, with two large closets, a little study, and another closet. So you have plenty of storage. That's probably the biggest bonus from this. They're about equal sizes. They have some shelves built into the walls. And then you're just overlooking the front of the neighborhood. Come over here. This bedroom is rather small. The walls are really, you're gonna need a little bit of TLC. You do have a nail pop, which that's always common in homes. Yeah, a couple of them. Somewhat of a walk-in closet. It's not too bad, but for the room, it's larger than the room. I don't know if you could catch that, but the floor does crack up here. Dirty, stained carpet. You have a little coat closet here. I'm sorry, not coat closet. A little linen closet. Master, decent sized bedroom. You could definitely fit a king size bed right there. Maybe even a California king. The carpets are stained. They look like they might have been cleaned, but there's just stains all over them. And then this is your view from your bedroom. A large window. And you walk into the bathroom. It has a jet tub. It's really dirty. Jet tubs, they tend to fail. You just got the little cheap countertops, and then you have a little closet that, if you're an average size person, you have to dip to get into. And a curtain rod. Okay. Really dirty. That one's got some dirt stains on it, which is usually common. You got your separate little water closet. And you have your closet inside the bathroom, which doesn't really smell wet. I don't smell anything crazy in here. The vent's clean. So I don't think that's too terribly bad. All right, we're gonna go down. Oh, this door. So something's off, because as you can see, there's either a ghost in here or the door just doesn't want to stay open. You have 2 sliding glass doors. You got one in the kitchen, which I didn't show you what it looks like while you're sitting here washing dishes or whatever. You have a decent little view, but you'd have to clean the window. You do have a little bit of an object in your way. And you have your little walkthrough right here. This is done up okay. It doesn't look too terribly bad. They didn't run any electrical. Well, actually, they have an extension cord. I would be cautious of that. The way they extension cord and they spliced it in. So you got open wires. Looks like you got a whole lot of moisture build up right here, so it probably stays wet. And that step is a little, you have to get used to it. So they do have a gutter system, which is helpful, and then it's made to go away from the house. It's just really dirty. Those windows need to be cleaned. So it's really hard to tell if it's a sill busted or not. This right here is a problem. The way this is done, the water has been washing away, and it's just washing away all of this, which eventually may possibly affect your foundation. So that would need to be taken care of. Just everything just looks older. You have a power cord running out of here up into here. That's exposed wire. That even if it's rated for underground, it's not supposed to be sitting on top of the ground. So you have some bubbling in here, potential water damage, or just the way it was installed. I don't see, well, I mean, you do have all these vines growing up in there, but I don't see what would be causing all that moisture inside the corner of the garage. We'll walk the backyard. Your septic cleanout's right here. And the way this is mound right here, without looking at the paperwork, I would almost think that that's probably where you're looking at your mound system. But you would want to double check, because if your mound system's over here, or if your leach field's over there, that may be an issue. A little swing. You do have a nice sized backyard. Looks like they did have chickens themselves. So if you wanted chickens, you've already got a chicken coop layout. You just need to clean it up a little bit. But having chickens myself, they would take care of all that themselves. This might have been a little rabbit hutch. I'm not sure, or maybe I'm not sure what they use that for. The fence is falling down. You do have a shop back here. Initial glance, it looks like it might be in pretty good shape. You do have your dog barking in the side, but that's always a possibility anywhere you go. They got a yard rake. That's nice. Yeah. Not a bad little shop. Looks like they, yeah, this might be where they kept all their chickens or chicken feed and stuff. But you do have some wet damage right here. And that could have just been, oh, actually that's probably from the window because they're leaving the window open. And then you do have a gate that opens up back here. And I'm not sure how far back it goes, but there is a ditch back. There's a ditch back here. My final thoughts of the house is we really need to look at the market analysis to see what the market says this home should be sold for, and then make adjustments based off of everything that seems like it needs to be done, because some of it can be cheaper repairs, but the rest of it can be a little pricey, like replacing the floors and trying to treat urine smells and things along those lines. Even a deep clean, I think, would be rather expensive on this home. Anyways, that's going to wrap this one up, and I will go to the next home, get that one shown.